All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the week where I give you guys my top three picks for the week that I really like, along with just the overall market and what I expect from the overall market. So, to start the things off, let's take a look at SPY and let's see how the market has performed for the past couple of weeks. And then let's take a look at what I'm expecting the market to do this coming week. Now, the first thing when it comes to this week is that we do have NVIDIA earnings coming up on, I believe, Wednesday, which will create a lot of volatility later on in the week. NVIDIA's earnings will decide basically whether AMD is going to be doing well, whether all of the semiconductors are going to be doing well, and of course also what the market in general is going to do. So it's a very big earnings that is coming up on Wednesday and after that. So that's something to keep an eye on. And of course, there are a lot of other stocks that are releasing earnings that we should probably, watch for the whole duration of the week. And again, I'll be watching those plays and also playing those plays in my private group. Link will be in the descriptions below if you want to catch the alerts for those plays. But with that being said, the first thing I want to kind of point out to you is that SPY broke all-time highs. And what ended up happening after the all-time high break is that we ran to 530, 531, and kind of just held above, right? So this key area of around this, 525, this is going to be the main level to watch out for in this coming week, as if the SPY does come down to this 525 area, is it going to test that level and hold, or is it going to break below that level and start selling off? So that is going to be the main support level that we're watching. Now, in order for us to play the long side of it, we have to focus on this 531.50. Now, if the SPY comes out, tomorrow, Monday, and then it breaks 531.50, we're going to play the long side of this towards 533, 534, and see how much more we can get it to the upside and take advantage of it, right? So you can see it in the 4-hour chart. It's a little bit easier to kind of visualize. We have a lot of support around this 528 here, which, you can see all of these lower shadows and candles holding around that 528. So under 528, we are going to see 525 as our next support. So 525 under 528 is the next big area to watch out for. And then, of course, as like I mentioned in the daily chart, you can see that once the 531, 531.50 area breaks through, we're going to get more upside. So those are the levels to watch out for when it comes to the SPY. I'll be playing some call options above 531, and I'll be playing some put options under 528 this coming week. And just to briefly mention, because I am trading QQQs a lot more than I am trading SPY as of late, QQQ has much more volatility, and it should have way more volatility than SPY because of the semiconductors this week with the earnings coming up. So with NVIDIA pushing a lot, this one should be really interesting. Nice little falling wedge setup. So basically along above like 452.50 area, or even like the 453 should send us to 455, and the break of 455 should be giving us another 1 to 2 points to the upside. If it decides to break underneath, I would say 450, that's your short. Take it down towards 448, 447, and see if you can catch a nice, short setup there. So we'll be watching these and we'll be playing them in the private group. And if you guys want to get into the private group, link will be in the description below to take you to how to sign up for the room. All right. Now, my top 3 stocks. These are the ones that I think has the highest potential for this coming week, and there will be my main watches for the week. Now, the first stock on the list is ANF, and a couple of weeks ago, I did mention this stock in one of my top 3 picks, and since then, the stock has done very well to climb slow and steady. Now, this stock has a history of just being a nice powerhouse. It gets a nice uptrend, and it just holds that uptrend. So getting into this play is really fun because it could be a multi-day runner. Now, this is the downtrend reversal that I was looking for. It broke through 130, 131 and has done very well last week all the way up to near 140. Now, this 140 area is your all-time high on the stock. So if the stock breaks 140, 140.30, basically, which is the high all-time high, long this stock towards 142s and 143s. I would say this stock is heading towards 150 on a multi-day run. So even better if you take like a month out or 2 months out 150 calls, and they might actually hit really well. So this is a stock that I think is very close to 150. I think it will get to 150 on the break of 140. and I'm looking for 140 break to long this stock this week. Most likely my main watch for the week. Now, the only other thing that I have to just kind of caution you guys is that if it fails to break 140, it's going to do a nice little pullback down towards like 135, which is where you have a decent amount of support. If that 135 holds and we consolidate here, this could be a nice little inverse head and shoulder setup into a breakout. So definitely one of my main watches for the week. It looks really good. Nice chart setup. Solid play. So I'll be watching this for more of a long than a short. It does have earnings on the 29th, so that's something to make sure you keep an eye on it. But I don't think the earnings is going to be bad. I think this will actually do very well and push after its earnings comes out, because again, this is a stock that has had earnings in the past and has slowly climbed up nice and steady for the past, like, 4 to 8 earnings. So I don't think the earnings is going to be any big of an issue. The other thing on the weekly chart I want to kind of mention on ANF is that on the weekly chart, it actually has a nice little 3-bar pattern right here, which is a very, very important pattern when it comes to basically more upside. I wouldn't consider this the best looking 3-bar pattern, because usually what you want is the inside day red candle to be basically inside the first green candle. In this case, that's not really the case. So this is technically not a 3-bar pattern, but it's close enough to where I think this week this stock is going to do very, very well and push towards that 150. So watch out for this. This is going to be a pretty good one. My number 2 pick, this is Dash. Dash, the main reason the stock is on the list is, first off, on the weekly chart, we have a doji reversal candle, which is something that I often like to see for more upside. And then the other part is on the daily chart, we actually have a gap fill. Now, this is something that I really like to trade. It's one of my favorite setups, and it's really fun to trade. Is if Dash breaks 118 this week, I'm going to long it towards 120. That's going to be my first area of target, 120. Once the 120 area hits, I'm going to look to take most of my profits on my call options and then play the rest of the move with a small size. The gap is all the way up to 126.50, 127, which is a really, really far out gap fill. So this is a really good thing. It can go up a lot. It tends to be volatile when it needs to. Could be a really, really solid play. If you go to the weekly chart, you can see it has a nice little fair value gap on the weekly chart, at least from 124, 118 to 124. So that's also a really, really good sign that it has a lot of room to balance out on the upside. Now, does it mean it's actually going to do it? You never know. There's no such thing as a guarantee in the stock market, but this is something that I like to trade a lot because it tends to work a lot when it gets inside the gap fill. So first, we need to break 118 for the long setup. Once the long setup is done, we're going to take our profit, basically. That's how it goes. And stop loss, you could keep it like, at 117, $1 underneath in case it breaks out and it fails. You can just stop out for a small loss. So yeah, really like the way this looks. Maybe like a 1 week, 2 week out call option. I would say like a 120 call or 122 call. Either one should be pretty good. But yeah, like definitely a stock that I'm watching very, very closely for the week. Now, before I go for my first main stock, the most important one in the market for me, at least this coming week, I want to briefly mention that NVDA, yes, it has earnings. Option premiums are going to be super, super expensive. So I most likely will not do any day trades on the stock. But what I will say is that it's very close to all-time highs. So whatever the earnings is going to be, could send it up huge, or it could run before earnings, before Wednesday comes up and runs huge, breaks all-time high, goes to 1,000, and then drops after earnings. That could also be a thing. I don't know how earnings is going to be. Everybody's expecting good earnings, but if the earnings is not that good, you never know what can happen. If the earnings is good, this could gap up past 1,000, go to like 1,100, 1,200. Could see a 300-point gap up if, and crazy things happen with NVIDIA and before. So this could be another day of something similar. What I will be doing, and this is my number 1 pick for the week, is I will be playing AMD. Now, the reason AMD is my number 1 pick for the week is because this is a stock that has not made much of a move compared to what NVIDIA has done and compared to what SMCI has done, or what, for instance, Qualcomm has done, right? These guys are running. Qualcomm's up to all-time highs. SMCI is currently back up and running, even though I think SMCI still has more upside left. But AMD has been a stock that has kind of lacked its movement compared to the rest of the market, compared to the rest of NVIDIA and all the other semiconductors. Now, I made good money on this stock last week. But I don't think I'm done yet. I think this is a stock that is reversing. It's a stock that I think is potentially going to go up more this coming week, at least heading into earnings of NVIDIA. I think this stock has the poise to go up way more. It has a nice downtrend reversal from last week. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for 170 long as my starting day trading position for the stock. So let's say on Monday it breaks 170. I'm going to go ahead and try to go long and try to fill the gap towards like 175, 176. Now, NVIDIA earnings is going to impact AMD. So for NVIDIA earnings, I'm going to probably do a lotto on into NVIDIA earnings, but not on NVIDIA. I will do it probably on AMD and maybe even SPY itself, depending on which one is good. So it's going to be a strangle play. I don't know what the details of the strangle play is. I will know on Wednesday, depending on how the premiums are on Wednesday. But if you guys want to catch those plays, make sure you come and check out the room in the link in the description. Link in the descriptions below if you want to catch those alerts. But basically, AMD for day trades, 170 long, push it up to 173s, 175s for the week. On the short side, I would go for 162, 30 short, bring it down to 160, and then maybe 159. I'm not really liking this more as mainly as a short. I like it mainly as a long setup. It did do a nice little reversal candle right here, lower shadow, a lot of support at 162. This has the potential to go past 170 and back to 200. So again, a stock that I really like, a stock that I think is very underestimated. Everybody's too hyped up about NVIDIA. They don't realize that AMD is still going to have a good amount of market share in the current market of AI and chip stocks and whatnot. So this is a stock that I think is going to benefit still very, very largely from all of the hype from AI. So don't miss out on this one. This is definitely a stock that I'll be playing. With that said, guys, I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching the videos, and make sure to smash the like button and subscribe, and of course check out the Discord link in the descriptions below. The Discord is doing absolutely amazing, and we have had a huge surge of members, and it continues to get more and more members. And of course FFIE, I'm all out of the stock, or of course, as it has given me 5,000% in gains since we entered at 0.08, rode it all the way to $4. I mean, that's massive, right? I'm gonna be looking for the next short squeeze stock, so I have one in mind. I'm gonna let my members know in the Discord tomorrow, depending on how it opens up, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Have a wonderful day, and peace.